everybody, and welcome to my channel, Everyday with Jackie. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please consider subscribing to the channel and ringing the notification bell. That way you're aware each and every time that a video goes up. And if you're returning to the channel, it's good to see you as always. Welcome to today's video, in which I will be giving you my recommendations for some fall palettes. And these are not any palettes that you have to rush out and buy. I'm sure that I have some palettes here that you already have in your collection. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm recommending today, then you'll have to keep watching. Okay, so let's just ignore the background. I'm trying to position myself until I clean out my other room that I record in. So I'm trying to position myself where the lighting is a little better. So don't mind my elliptical or my plant that's about to kick the bucket. We just won't pay any attention to that. And over there, there's Matilda, the vacuum cleaner. Don't mind her at all either. Usually I tuck these things, or at least the vacuum cleaner, out of the way, but hey, this is everyday life. So again, today's video is all about some palettes that I want to recommend for fall. And as usual, I try to keep it to palettes that you probably already have in your collection, but may have forgotten about. So if you have any of these palettes, please let me know below. Leave me a comment below and let me know. And we're just going to go ahead and jump into the video. I'm trying not to use any of the palettes that I used last year for my fall recommendation palette, but I do have at least one or two that I know were in that video, but I couldn't leave them out. I just couldn't. And last year I also did a whole bunch of lipsticks that were fall worthy. So this year I'm trying not to repeat any of those either, and I just want to keep it down to a minimum. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into this video. I'm in a good mood. I think I had a little too much coffee, but what can I say? I filmed 2 videos trying to make the most of, the face. One was the eyes, one was the complexion, and now we're ready to film a video on these products. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. First up, I know are 2 palettes, like I said, that were repeats from last year's video. So let's go ahead and get those out of the way first. And first off is my Anastasia by Beverly Hills. This is my Modern Renaissance palette. I couldn't leave her out because to me, she is very fall worthy. Oh, yes, for sure. This is what this palette looks like. And I know many of you may already have this palette in your collection. Let me know down below, but I couldn't leave it out because I think this palette is very fall worthy. I like the deep browns and the reds and the plum shades. It's just a very pretty palette. I love this rust brown right here. You just can't beat it. And I've had this in my collection for a while, so this may show up in one of my Throwback Thursdays video, but to me, this palette definitely screams fall, and I just wanted to give you a recommendation for her. I know I did, like I said, recommend her last year, but she's showing up again in this video. Here's another one that I recommended to you guys last year. Couldn't leave her out. And this is by Urban Decay, and this is the Naked Heat palette. She deserves to be in this video. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the brush out. This is what this palette looks like. And I've heard several people say that out of the Naked series, that this palette here is the best one. I don't have any of the other Naked palettes. This is my only one. So this is the only reference that I have, but I think this palette is a beaut. I love all the shades in here. The metallics are gorgeous. It has a nice amount of mattes in here. So this is a great palette, and this is definitely fall worthy. And again, this is by Urban Decay, and it's the Naked Heat palette. Next up, I may have another repeat. I'm not sure if I mentioned this last year, but I was watching Gigi Luvs Beauty, and she mentioned this, and I was like, yes, this is perfect. So this is by Juvia's Place. This is a Warrior 2 palette. And she was right, Gigi was right. This is definitely a palette to take out for fall. If you like those palettes that have all mattes, and if you like doing all matte looks, you can't go wrong with this palette. But look at these shades. These are some wonderful shades for fall. You have this kind of rust brown, a deeper brown right here. This beautiful black, looks so rich. Just some really nice caramel browns, kind of a coral shade. If you like those gray tones, which I'm not a fan of, but if you are, here you go right here. So this palette has very many fall-like shades, and I know quite a few of you already have this in your collection, so break it out, start doing some looks for fall with it, and tag me so I can see what you've created. Now, I don't think I've shown you any more of these palettes in other videos, so let's just go ahead and jump in. First up is the Huda Beauty palette, and this is their nude palette, but the shade is rich. And I thought this was pretty fall worthy. This is a package on the outside. Haven't played with this palette near enough. Comes with a mirror, but look at these shades. These metallics are not playing. I have used this several times, but not nearly as much as I want to. But this, I think, is a very fall-esque palette. And again, it has those shades that make me think of fall. Again, you have those plums, those browns. It's just very pretty. And I'm trying my best not to sit here and start swatching, because I don't want this video to be so long. But this shade right here, I just want to dip my finger in it right now, but I'm trying to refrain. But this palette definitely, look at that deep plum. This palette definitely says fall to me. So again, this would be a great palette to use for fall. And again, if you have this in your collection, go ahead and break it out. Let me know below if you're planning on using this or adding this to your fall lineup. But I think this palette is gorgeous. And again, this is by Huda Beauty, and it's one of the nude palettes in Rich. Next, I have a Natasha Denona palette, and this is the Sunrise palette. Now, I went back and forth, saying, well, is this really a fall palette? But when I look at it, I'm not sure what time of the year it came out, but I think it does scream fall. Will you guys let me know? What do you think? I think this is a beautiful palette that you can use in the fall. You have your orange, you have your mustard, you have your plums, your burgundies, your purple, your yellow, gold. This is definitely, to me, a fall palette as well. Some of you may just want to use this for the spring, but you can do you can use it in the spring, you can use it in the fall. I just think it's a gorgeous palette, and I think this would be so pretty in the fall. I'm going to have to use this palette with my Throwback Thursday, because just looking at it just makes me want to put these shades on my lid. So again, if you have this palette, pull it out for the fall and let me know what looks you're going to create with it. But I think it's definitely fall worthy. And again, this is the Sunrise palette by Natasha Denona. And we have another palette by Natasha Denona, and I'm sure some of you won't be surprised to see me recommend this one. And this is their Sunset palette. Now, this one was the Sunrise, and now we're talking about the Sunset. And this is definitely a palette for fall, in my opinion. Does this scream fall or what? Look at this. I have loved using this palette. You have your reds, your browns, your caramel-like shades. You have golds. This is a gorgeous palette, and I think you can't go wrong with this for the fall time. you can create some beautiful looks with this. And what I love about this palette is you have plenty of your mattes in here. So you don't have to worry about dipping into another palette if you're looking for a matte shade. This has a good balance of mattes and metallic shades, and I just love this palette. Haven't picked it up in a minute because I was going ham on this palette. So again, this is the Sunset palette by Natasha Denona, and I just couldn't leave this out. This is fall worthy, and I wanted to bring this to your attention and recommend it for you. Next up, I have a palette by Huda Beauty, another Huda Beauty palette, and this one is their Desert Dusk palette. And I think this palette is beautiful as well, and I think you can get some pretty fall looks with this. It's just rich in color, and this shade right here you will have to be careful with because this is definitely a chunky glitter, so you definitely will have to use a glitter glue if you're using this shade, or else you're going to have fallout all over your face. But nevertheless, this is a beautiful color or beautiful glitter. And these shades, again, you have some cool tone shades right over here, and you again have some shimmers, you have some metallic shades. This is just pretty. I think the depth of these shades are gorgeous. Loving this purple, just want to swatch it, but I'm not going to. But this is definitely, in my opinion, a really nice fall worthy palette. So if you have this palette by Huda Beauty, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and pull it out and start creating some of these beautiful fall looks. And again, tag me in them because I want to see what you create. Next up, and we're almost done with the palettes. I wasn't going to go crazy like I did last year. Next up, we have this palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And this palette was in collaboration with Jackie Aina. This is what it looks like on the outside. And you talk about your rich, deep tones, your fall-worthy tones. Look no further. I'll take the brush out. Look at this. This is definitely a palette that screams fall all day long. Fall, 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 fall. It screams fall. This is so pretty. These purples, browns, caramels. Oh, this is my favorite shade. When I did the collab with Lynette from LonDen Makeup Artistry, this shade right here was a favorite, and this one shade right here, I just put it all over the lid. Now this one was my favorite, not this one, but this one is beautiful. But this is the shade that I just put all over the lid. Now she had this in a single. I am not kidding. I think that's why I haven't played in this palette again, because I know I would just keep using this shade over and over, and I don't want to use it up. I love this shade. That shade is called Pinker. I love, love, love that shade. But this palette, I was slow picking it up, but this is a beautiful palette. And I'm definitely going to do the 3 looks, 1 palette with this one, because this is just gorgeous. And I have only used this palette the 1 time. So again, I know a bunch of you have this palette in your collection. So again, you need to get this palette out and start creating your fall looks. It's not quite fall here. The temperature is rather warm still, but it has cooled down from the triple digits to just the double digits. So, you know, it's not terribly cool here yet, but I guess people are saying fall is in the air and they can't wait for it. So I'm here for it. So go ahead and start creating your fall looks. Let me know what you're creating, and let me know below if you have this palette, because I know you do. And tag me in some of the looks that you create with this one too. If you're not following me on my Instagram channel, please do. It's mzjackietaylor at Instagram. So it's at Ms. Jackie Taylor on Instagram. So tag me with the looks that you're creating, and my Instagram handle is also down below in my description box. So I want to see what you guys are up to. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it's nothing terribly exciting, but if you're not following me, please do. And again, just tag me with what looks you're doing with these palettes. Now I have 2 more to go. The next one is by Viseart, and it's my Dark Edit palette. And here is what it looks like. You know, that shade right here came broken, but as long as it doesn't break up any further, I think we'll be okay. But you have to tell me, what do you think about this palette? Is this fall worthy? You don't, never mind, you don't have to tell me because I already know it is. This is a gorgeous palette. Gorgeous palette. I love it so much. And again, it's another one of the palettes that I haven't done a lot of looks with, but I'll be breaking it out again and trying to create some more eye looks, maybe 3 looks, 1 palette with this one as well. But this is so pretty. Again, this is called the Dark Edit palette, and I love this palette. Look how beautiful this orange is. And again, as you can see, I do have the common theme, purples, and almost all of my palettes, pinks. Look at this orange though. That is, oh, I just want to dip my finger in it. But these are the shades in the Viseart Dark Edit palette, and this is definitely a fall palette. So if you don't have this one, you can still get your hands on it, and it definitely screams fall. And so my last palette, again, I tousled back and forth. Is this really a fall palette? And I came up with the answer that yes, you can use this palette for fall. And this is another Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, but this was in collaboration with Amrezy. And this is what this palette looks like. Have only used this palette the one time. That's why, you guys, I wanted to stop and go on a no buy. Stop buying so much makeup, because it doesn't make sense to me to buy a palette, use my hard-earned money, buy a palette, and just use it the one time. So the no buy has been doing me good. I'm gonna take this brush out, and this is what this palette looks like. And I do think this is fall appropriate. Look at that blue though. Enough said. I don't even know what to say about that. But look at this palette. Isn't it beautiful? And I think it does have some beautiful fall shades in here. Indeed. Look at these metallics. This one has pressed pigments in it, metallics. We have some shimmers. And again, this is another palette that has plenty of matte shades, so you don't have to dip outside the palette to find a matte. So it has beautiful crease colors in here. So again, this is Anastasia Beverly Hills in collaboration with Amrezy, and I love, love, love this palette. This is gorgeous. And I know some of you have this, and I would like to know if you're planning on pulling this baby out for the fall, because I know I definitely am. So that's all that I have with the palettes. I just have a few, just a few looks for your lips. So let me get these together. Again, we're not gonna do swatches because I have swatched all of these lip colors in a lip swatching video. So you can look for that in my channel. I'll try to have it linked above in the cards. But this is a very pretty color for fall, and this is by Fenty Beauty, and this is called Underdog. This beautiful burgundy, it's a deep shade too. Look at that. So pretty. This is definitely a beautiful color for fall. Look at that applicator. This is definitely a pretty color for fall. And I haven't used this nearly as much, but I want to get some good use out of it this fall. I think I got it around Christmas time last year, and I didn't really use it that much, but I'm busting this baby out, and we're definitely going to be going in on it this fall. I have another lipstick by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is in the shade Trust Issues. Tiny writing. And again, this I think is very pretty for the fall. This is a rich shade, very deep on your lips. It doesn't look like it right here, but this is a very deep shade, so you better be ready for it. But again, this is called Trust Issues by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So this is a very pretty shade for fall. I also have the Fenty Beauty Hot Chocolate, and I think this is a nice gloss for fall. Again, I have already swatched this in another video, but this, if you want something just with a little hint of color to your lips, but still in those fall shades or tones, you can't go wrong with this. This is a very pretty lip gloss. And again, this is in hot chocolate, and it gives you just a hint of color on your lips. And I think you'll love it if you don't already have it. This is still available. I think all of these that I'm talking about is still available. I'm not sure about Underdog, but it may be. I'll try to put it on the screen. Have another lip gloss. Now this is by Pat McGrath, and this is Flesh 4. And I just pulled this one only, and I've already used this. I'm already down to here. This is a very pretty lip gloss as well for fall. Something very kind of lightweight, but this does have coverage. So this isn't a sheer lip gloss. You can definitely see it on the lips, and it is gorgeous. So if you just want a little bit of pigment to your lips, nothing so saturated, you can't go wrong with this. This is a beautiful color, and I've worn this in a few videos. So I do like this shade a lot. This is Flesh 4 by Pat McGrath Labs. This one is by Bare Minerals, and this is called So Fine. And I couldn't leave this out. I think this is a pretty burgundy shade as well for fall. So this was available at Walmart. I finally tracked down where to purchase it, but I never discovered who gave it to me. So this was a Christmas gift to me last year, and I have worn these out. I really like the shade, and I like every one of them that came in the pack. I think it came in a pack of six lip products, but this one really screams fall to me. So again, this is by Bare Minerals, and it's called So Fine. Then my next one is by Uoma Beauty, and it says a bad ask. It doesn't talk about being a bad ask, and it says Uoma right here, and this is in the shade Winnie. And this is what it looks like. This is this deep chocolate brown that I was terrified of. I was like, I don't think I meant to choose this shade. And when I swatched it on my lips, it was gorgeous. And these lipsticks are the most comfortable matte lipsticks you'll ever find. I swatched every one of them that I had, and I could have kept on going. They were not uncomfortable. My lips weren't hurting from putting them on and wiping them off. It's just, they were such creamy matte lipsticks. And if you haven't tried the formula from Uoma Beauty, you are missing out, because these are the best lipsticks that I have ever tried, especially a matte lipstick. So again, this was in the shade Winnie, and this is a beautiful chocolate. You'll have to look at my lip swatching video if you haven't seen this one in action. And again, I'll try to put it in the cards above. And my last lipstick is by ColourPop, and it's in the shade Slow Dance. This is their Velvet Blur lipstick. And this is a very pretty nude color. And again, this is a very comfortable lipstick. I guess they say it's a blur lipstick because it doesn't accentuate the lines or fine lines that you may have in your lips. But again, this looks beautiful. I just wish they had more shades in the Velvet Blur, because this is another comfortable matte lipstick, but this is the most comfortable one that I have found. But this is very pretty, and I think this is such a pretty nude color for the fall. So again, this is by ColourPop. This is in the shade Slow Dance, and you can't go wrong if you're just looking for a nude lipstick. Okay, guys, I have done it. I don't think I've held you too long. These are my fall recommendations, lip colors and palettes. So that completes today's video. Again, if you have any of these lip products or any of these palettes that I've recommended today, please let me know below. Also, again, tag me on Instagram at mzjackietaylor. And I would like to see you using these products, or let me know what you think about them, see what looks you guys come up with. So again, that completes this video. If you did enjoy today's video, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up and ring the notification bell so you'll be aware each and every time that I upload a video. And please go ahead and share the channel, because you know I don't mind. And lastly, please know that you are always welcomed and wanted here on my channel. And with that said, thank you everyone for tuning in to today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody, and have a good day. Bye.